RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, what's happening? I'm almost on time tonight. How you doing? What's going on? I feel like my headphones aren't accurate. What's up, everybody? This is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. JD is first in the chat room. Nice to see you, JD. I envy you. What a shit show this is. And for those who don't know, JD lives in England at a safe distance from the madhouse. God help us. The only thing that is encouraging, I don't know, if you guys have been watching the Tara show with myself and Tara Dublin on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll know that Tara Dublin likes to give a little hope. She likes to, and I'm for the hope, okay? I am. I'm not about complete despair. About realism, I feel. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to delude myself, but we're in a big heap of shit. But there are some shining lights, I suppose, and one of them is that I really do hope. Here's the hope, that people wake the F up. What else is going to wake them up? That's why I was asking Tara on the show, because maybe you guys tell me what you think. I was pondering one day, going about my business, just thinking about, what's it going to take for maggots to wake the F up? And I thought, and I was thinking about Chuck Schumer and how he screwed us, and how, and this is the problem. And we if we get time, one of the things I have on the list is how the, Democrats and Republicans, every town hall is populated with very angry people, and that's good. I'm glad people are angry. I don't know where the disconnect is, though, because another thing that's driving me nuts is I hear on the corporate media, they keep reporting how Trump, his approval rating has never been so high. Even though, other presidents at this time in their presidency have had much higher approval ratings. But for him, it's at record high. How is this even possible? Is a question for the ages. And if we are to believe it, too, right? His approval rating's at 47%, which is high for him. He's never gotten above 50%, but this is according to the corporate media mouthpieces, right? Hold on a second. I just want to check my mic. Oh, crap. I'm getting a beach ball. I should have restarted my computer before I started the show, but let's just hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Okay, yeah, it looks okay. I don't know. You know what it is? It's just I'm not hearing myself out of one of my cans, so to speak. It's not coming out of that headset. I'll have to deal with it. So, you're freezing, Josie, in upstate New York? I know, right? Where's the spring? The hell, man. And before I keep going, let me remind everybody to please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Okay? Give me something here, guys, Let's we're in this together here, right? And thank you, Redfoot. Sound is good and it's in stereo. Well, that's all that matters. Maybe I need a new headset, That's not out of the realm of possibility. So, and that's why, become a patron, because I don't know. I ain't going to retire at this point. But what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be on JD's couch. That's what'll happen. I'll flee this country. and get my ass over to Ireland. You know what I mean? Anyway, everything is fucked up. Whatever. Okay, well, I'm babbling now. So what was I saying? So, yes, please become a patron, patreon.com/TaraDevlin. And also, please, thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. I hope all is well. It's all good. No, just take care of yourself, my friend. And that's all I got to say, Charlie. Don't stress. No fuss, no muss. Use the show. If you want to post it, go for it, man. There's no problem. No problemo here. Okay? And thank you, Josie, for your super chat. Josie Justice. All right. So I was asking Tara from, the Tara show, Tara Dublin, my co-host on the Tara show. When Chuck Schumer became our Neville Chamberlain, the Neville Chamberlain of our day, and waved the paper around saying, "Oh, it would have been so much worse without the CR." And I'm not saying that it won't. He's like, because he's saying that the Republicans told him that if they shut down the government, it wouldn't open for 6 months. And then they would never reopen it. And, let them try. Right? So here's where of course, I have the luxury of saying that because I'm not on Social Security and Medicare. And I'm not a government worker. So there's, my privilege showing. Because I know that good people are hurt too. And frankly, I'm sick of it. I've been screaming into this microphone for years. Thank you to you guys for being a part of the show. But that's what we've been talking about. We're in this together. That it matters. That when someone is oppressed, if anyone's oppressed, everyone is oppressed. If they're going after government workers, we're all in danger. We're all government workers, and we need government workers. But this is a long time coming. The assault on government, it's starting with friggin' Reagan. Then my most terrifying words, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Well, F you. Well, and so that's why I was saying to Tara, what's going to wake these effers up? But to give them what they want, because we see that clearly the Democrats have, for whatever reason, like Chuck Schumer, he doesn't have the ability to message, and that's part of the job of being, I would imagine, well, being the president for one thing, but being in politics, you have to be able to get your message across. And what's Chuck Schumer's message? It would have been worse. Trust me on that. But the fact is that we have been telling Republicans for years that, you need government too. We've been pointing it out. We've been pointing out their hypocrisies. We've laughed in their faces when they said, "Get your government hands off of my Medicare and Medicaid," right? We've pointed out to them that, the idiot who hung the FU Joe Biden and FU for voting him while hoping and praying that he got one of the grants in the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act, so he didn't have to drown every time it rained. The water wouldn't come pouring into his bedroom. But we pointed out, hey, dummy. Maybe we haven't pointed it out too forcefully, clearly, because half the country is propagandized. And this is the problem. This is why we're in this boat. Half the country is propagandized by the likes of Fox News. These idiots who watch Fox News, a channel that was fined the largest judgment against the media company in American history for lying to its viewers. And how many times have I taken to this microphone to scream why, scream at Democrats and ask them why don't they remind the American people that every time they get in front of a microphone. You know, it's okay for Republicans to devalue the currency of truth when it comes to so-called legitimate news sources. And what I mean, the Washington Post is no longer a legitimate news source, as we know. But there are some news outlets that they adhere to certain standards, and not just whether it tickles Jeff Bezos's balls or not. You know, if they say something that is inaccurate, they have to print a correction and such things like that. They have standards and practices. That's what happens in media companies in the United States. They have lawyers. Things get run through the lawyers. They have to, it has to be accurate. They can't, they have these. It's not like the government is putting these standards on onto the news outlets. They put them on themselves. But, they've been denigrated by Republicans. Hold on a second. And, like all fascists, Republicans and Trump, they have devalued legitimate news outlets that hold them accountable, and it's only going to get worse. Because if you think also that they're not coming for people like me, they just deported somebody that had a tattoo of the Real Madrid football team. I don't know. I don't follow sports, but they said it was some kind of, MS-13 fucking tattoo. It's just like, this is where we live, We're in a fascist dictatorship, and they're going after, this little baboon, the traitor, is, that's what I should talk about, too. I totally forgot to put it on the list, how, he's shoved his fat ass on the board of the Kennedy Center, and of course it's like a fucking shit show. And I got an email from Kate Petrini, who is Mike Malloy's education correspondent, and I'll have to say she's Tarabuster's education correspondent too. I'm adopting her right now, but she sends a lot of. She keeps me apprised of many things that are going on. And she sent where the hell is it? I couldn't believe it. Let's see, where is it? She sent this article. Let me see. I can't even. Okay, here it is. Touring the Kennedy Center, Trump mused. Actually, let's start from here. Trump mused on his childhood aptitude for music. Okay? This is why he's, it's not like the president doesn't have anything else to do. I'd rather have him sitting his fat ass on the board of the Kennedy Center. Maybe he would keep himself busy, right? And stop inflicting his manias elsewhere. But here's a quote. Asked about the anecdote, Stephen Chung, the White House communications director, did not directly address it, but said that the president, here's a quote from Stephen Chung, White House communications director, the president is a virtuoso, and his musical choices represent a brilliant palette of vibrant colors, when often others paint in pale pastels. Okay? Let that percolate in your brain for a minute. That is right out of North Korea. And I have to ask, don't these people have any dignity? Don't they have any self-respect? Let me read that again. The president, they asked, what the fuck is the baboon doing shoving his fat ass on the board of the Kennedy Center? Right? And don't you wish that they would talk like that to these freaks? But that's what they're saying. What the hell is the baboon doing on the board of the Kennedy Center? And Stephen Chung says that the so-called baboon, well, he's not a so-called baboon, the so-called president, a.k.a. baboon, is a virtuoso, and his musical choices represent a brilliant palette of vibrant colors when often others paint in pale pastels. I mean, what the fuck? Do these people hear themselves? Right? Do they hear themselves talk? Do they understand? And that's why I just don't get it. Don't you have any dignity? I'd rather take, a bullet. I don't even want to say that. That's not a right. I mean, YouTube will ban. I was going to say I'd rather, be deported to Guantanamo. Let's put it that way. Than be, a lickspittle for such an underwhelming waste of human DNA, like the con man with the fake university, the vitamin scam. I mean, if he's such a brilliant virtuoso, then what the fuck was he hiding it for all those years? He kept coming out with one grift after another. The vitamin scam, the meat through the mail, right? The Trump the game, Trump the water, Trump the shuttle, everything that sucks, being put on an allowance by the bank because he was unable to pay his bills. I mean, where was all this brilliant palette of vibrant colors? Because whenever his very small mind got to work trying to grift money from suckers, it always came out with some kind of scam that others did a lot more effectively. He'd never had an original thought in his fucking tiny baboon head, right? He never did, because all of his grifts are just the same old grifts. Multi-level marketing vitamin scam. Well, no, other people did that better. He should have been selling like Lulu. What was that one? Lulu Row or Lulu Row, or whatever. I mean, there's so many. Avon, sell some fucking Avon. That's all. He came up with all kinds of grifts. I mean, this is a baboon that bankrupted a casino. Where were all the vibrant colors that we are finally being treated to when we were so used to those pale pastels? I guess. Ding dong, Avon calling. Ding dong, like nobody's ever seen. Avon calling. What's that other one? It's like, isn't it called Lulu something? Pants? I know they're being sued. Luluman? I don't know. I don't get involved with multi-level marketing. And you shouldn't either, because it's a scam. And that's exactly what happened to the idiots, the poor suckers, I should say, that bought into Trump's recession-proof business opportunity. Recession-proof your business. Opt out of the recession. Yeah, no, I don't know. Should I do that to you? Should I? I don't know if I have it. Yeah. I have this, though. And for those on the audio, it's Trump mimicking fellatio on a microphone. That's what he's good at. He was basically showing us what he did to Putin behind closed doors with no Americans present, and he confiscated the transcript. This is what he did. See? A little bit of this and a little bit of that. And all the other baboons cheer. He is a baboon. Yeah. Well, here's another one, yeah. Oh, shit. Now I'm getting a beach ball. Don't do this to me. Don't do this.
I'm going to buy because, number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets. And number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life.
Fuck your life.
Things that I'm doing. And there's no better team, but there's no better for what we're doing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to do that to you. Hold on. This is Tara Devlin. We'll be right back. Unapologetic liberal talk. But anyway, so I thought that was funny. When Kay sent this to me, I thought, my God, this country, we have a lot of atoning to do, and it makes me sick. So, and one thing, actually, speaking of atoning, here's another story that I came across that made me ashamed. And I thought of JD, too, because I wondered how much play this was getting in England. But a family, a woman came, this poor bastard, she came here to the United States. She wanted to backpack across North America. You know how sometimes people from America, not the baboons, because they don't get out of a 50-mile radius of where they were born half the time. And why would they, right? That might require an intellectual curiosity or just a regular old curiosity. But, it's actually, the woman was Welsh, or is Welsh. And she came here to the United States to backpack around North America, including Canada, I guess, and also, I don't know, Mexico maybe too? But that is all part of the one North America. Anyway, she found herself in this fucked up shithole with with fascist baboons in charge, and they got her. ICE hunted her down because she, and this made me think of Elon Musk, okay? Because he was here illegally, and I don't see him being treated like Hannibal Lecter. But so a tourist from Wales was held in ICE detention for 19 days. She was given one of those, I guess, orange jumpsuits and put in chains like Hannibal Lecter, chains around her ankles, chains around her wrists and her waist. And she, I don't know if this is a big news story in England. I would imagine it's somewhat getting some play, but she's 28. She arrived home in Wales on Tuesday from her ordeal, which began halfway through her backpacking trip around this fucked up country. And her parents said that their daughter was traumatized after being taken in leg chains, waist chains, and handcuffs because she had a tourist visa, but it was... I guess she got hunted down because it said that Miss Burke's detention came as what her family think was a misunderstanding about her accommodation arrangements. She got free accommodations from the people she was staying with for helping host families, quote unquote, around the house, which her father believes authorities may have suspected broke the terms of her tourist visa. And even if that's the case, why would you treat somebody like that? Why would you treat someone like, keep them in detention in chains for 19 days? She said that she was given one of these orange jumpsuits. That was it. She wasn't allowed to change her clothes for 19 days. And finally deported. On Monday, she was taken from the detention facility to a location close to the airport, ready to be taken on a plane. I'm sure she was friggin' relieved to get the fuck out of here. But her father said that no one outside of the detention facility knew where she had been taken, and they only knew that she was home when she landed because there was no communication with her parents. And her father said she's not Hannibal Lecter, and she said she could only walk with the support of an ICE officer because her ankles were bound in chains so tightly that she couldn't actually, she had to shuffle. And she said that she could not believe, what was happening to her, of course. Her parents said they weren't sure that her daughter was on the plane until she walked through the gates. And this is how we treat our allies? I mean, I know. And, think about all of the video that we're seeing of the supposed terrorists, being dragged to Venezuela, where they're not even from. Or Nicaragua, wherever they're being taken, to a country that they're not even from, by the way. But we're just supposed to take the baboon and the fascists' word for it, that they're terrorists. There's no due process here at all. That's why the judge said, bring them back. That Trump, of course, ignored the order, and making us a lawless fascist nation. Because that's how the fascists do it, you see. They start with the deplorables, the repugnant. The maggots are saying, you support MS-13, you support gangs, you support, all of these, the gang violence and all. No, I support the Constitution, as should you. So this is how all fascist regimes start, by doing their lawless behaviors on on populations that who they don't deserve legal protections. This is nothing new, though. I have to remind everybody, just like it's not that Trump did this originally. Remember when the Republicans, during when they invaded Iraq based on a lie, and they passed the Patriot Act and all this, not just the Republicans at the time, it was all this fucking mass hysteria, but part of their, and then they started disappearing so-called terrorists into Guantanamo, who weren't terrorists. These people were people who might have pissed off the local warlord, or been somebody that was like a rival for a girl's hand, and then they, somebody turned them in and said, get rid of Muhammad over here. He's a terrorist. And next thing you know, you don't see him ever again. But that's what, during that abhorrent Republican maladministration, they kept saying that, these terrorists don't deserve constitutional protections. They denigrated reading people their Miranda rights. Remember that? They would say, it's weak, basically. They would say that it would be weak to read them their Miranda rights, when that's how it starts. You start saying that only certain people deserve the protections of the Constitution, and the next thing you know, the Constitution is just a goddamn piece of paper. And that's what Republicans have done to us. And if you think that this isn't a fascist regime, a lawless fascist regime, then you're not paying attention. And it's absolutely heartbreaking, but also it's concerning, and it's embarrassing. And I know what's sad is that we're not going to recover from this for a very long time. Another article, and thank you, JD, for your super chat. Author Gene Sharp, his book, How to Start a Revolution, This Plus Civil Disobedience and Protest. I gotta read that, actually. I'm writing that down right now. How to Start... did I read that book? Now that I'm saying that, I have to look it up. A Revolution. I do. I read a lot. Not read. I listen to a lot of books on tapes, too. I know a lot of people like to sit and read. I don't have the time a lot of time. A lot of times I'll read or listen to books on tape when I'm doing other things, like feeding the community cats or something like that, So. But that is required reading. How to Start a Revolution, plus Civil Disobedience and Protests. And the good news is it's coming. We can see it amping up all over the country. And that's the other thing. What I was saying to Tara Dublin on the Tara Show on the Political Voices Network, Thursdays and Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, is that maybe, maybe the Republicans should get what they asked for. No government. But then again, of course, good people are hurt too. But how else are they going to learn? Because they're not listening to Chuck Schumer. They're not going to listen to me. They're not, they're propagandized. We're in this boat because of propaganda. And, okay. I'm all over the place. Not really. I mean, it all connects. But for example, I just wrote another article for the Political Voices Substack. If you haven't yet supported that, I know there's every time you turn around, we're like, support this, support that. But that's it, man. We got each other. We don't have billionaire benefactors. Which would you prefer, right? I mean, I don't want billionaire benefactors. I would rather have you guys. So, on the Political Voices Substack, let's see, I'm opening it up. I just wrote an article about no, come on. No. Political voice. No, because what's happening, I'm just typing it in and the edit page is coming up and not the site itself. So let me see. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Become a patron. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Thank you. And while I'm putting that together, here's the family of the woman who was detained by ICE. I mean, doesn't it make you proud to be an American? I don't know about you.
So in terms of the punitive treatment, I think I've got to say that on Monday, she was taken from the detention facility to a location close to the airport, ready to be taken to the plane. Nobody knew she'd been taken. Externally, we had to have a call from one of her fellow detainees. She was taken in leg chains.
For what reason?
Waist chains.
In chains.
And handcuffs on the journey to the airport.
Is that necessary?
She's not Hannibal Lecter.
It's repugnant.
Told me she said that she could only walk with the support of an ICE officer because she was shuffling with her leg chains on. So there's a lot of things that really we've got to try and address through, I guess it can only be through political channels to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Absolutely disgusting. Right? I mean, this is how we treat our allies? Is that even... I mean, why is it necessary to chain her ankles, waist, and hands? Where the fuck is she going? Why is it necessary to keep her in detention for 19 days and not allow her to change her clothes? Right? It's against, everything that this country, I thought, fought, bled, and died for. I mean, when I think about, not this country, I mean, the actual patriots of this country, when I think about what George Washington said about whether we, during the Revolution, whether we would torture prisoners, right? Let me look that up. George Washington. Off the top of my head, he gave directives that that there would be no torture of prisoners, no matter what treatment were whatever, no matter how the British were treating the American prisoners that they were capturing. You know, they were treating them awfully because they were traitors. So, but he gave a directive saying, give them no reason to complain. Treat them with dignity and respect. Because he understood that we were fighting not just the battle for liberty, but we were fighting for the hearts and minds of the world. You know, we were fighting for a higher ideal. And it would be emblematic of the way that we behave in the world. You know, we're fighting for human rights, for human dignity. And I know in all their hypocrisies, yes, in all their hypocrisies and, their inability to see those hypocrisies, of course, they still gave us a very progressive blueprint from which to build upon. But yeah, Washington instructed his troops to treat prisoners with humanity, especially after their victories, like at the Battle of Trenton, where over 900 Hessian soldiers were captured and treated well. And I remember, too, when the United States became a torture nation under George W. Bush. Remember that? Remember how proud we were then? And I remember reading articles written by the intelligence officers during World War II explaining how you don't get any actionable intelligence through torture. And in fact, how they had received more actionable intelligence by playing chess with their German captives than they did by ever by threatening them or treating them inhumanely. It makes sense. And in fact, many of the German prisoners of war wanted to remain in the United States. Oh, and I also remember reading about how at the end of World War II, when the Germans were surrendering, they were doing all they could to make sure to stay out of Soviet hands and surrender to the Americans, because they knew that they would be treated with decency and humanity. Not anymore. It really breaks my heart how this country, how these baboons who never understood what this country was about, they hate America. They hate how woke the country was heading, right? They hate the general welfare. They hate the working class. They hate the majority of the American people. It comes out, and that's what we're going to talk about too. I'll play you the Allina Habba clip and AOC's response. But first, an article I wrote over at the Political Voices Network. Where the heck is it now? I don't know if you saw this, but a French politician, here it is, said or suggested that they should take back the Statue of Liberty. That the French, that America no longer embodies the spirit of the gift that we were given by our oldest ally, the French. And so, therefore, we should give it back, And, of course, because being a maggot means not only never, ever saying sorry, never admitting a mistake, but it also means having a shockingly ignorant understanding of history, much less reality, and also while simultaneously feeling somehow emboldened to lecture everyone about the very subjects of which you know least, right? I mean, that's a maggot in a nutshell. What's her face? Caroline Levitt, who is a child. Clearly, she might be married to a dude 30-something years older than herself, but she's a moron, like all maggots, and they never learn, and they're arrogant. They have this unearned arrogance. They're, rather than take the French, that just the fact that a French politician said that the Americans should give back the Statue of Liberty because we no longer reflect the values embodied in the spirit of which the gift was bestowed, then, rather than take that as an opportunity for self-reflection, right? When your whole, when all your allies are appalled and America's enemies are as giddy as kids on Christmas morning, you might want to, take a minute to reflect. But Caroline Levitt, let me see, where the fuckity is it? Hold on. Here it is. Yeah. So they asked her about it in the crack White House press corps asked her. Come on. Play the video, damn it. I'm getting a bit.
There is now a member of the European Parliament from France who does not think the U.S. represents the values of the Statue of Liberty anymore. They want the Statue of Liberty back. So is President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So they should be very grateful to our great country.
Hold on a second. Here's the music. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. See, that isn't that always the way of the maggot, right? The French would be speaking German if not for us. And guess what? Not Allina Habba, she's coming next. Caroline Levitt's a child. She's a moron. She doesn't know that the United States, we would be pledging allegiance to King Charles III right now, if not for the French. There's no real understanding of history with these people. They just cherry pick the parts that are, that make them look like assholes. Not look like, they are assholes. Make them, stick it to whoever they are sticking it to, whether they're owning the libs. This unnamed French politician. Fuck you, unnamed. I mean, he's got a name, dumb bitch. Low level. Why don't you call him governor, like Governor Trudeau? I mean, these people are, no wonder. It's only been 60 days. You realize this? In this maladministration. And they have already done so much damage to our good name. We're not getting it back anytime soon. But they think that's great, I guess, because they're Nazis, they're fascists, they're traitors. Of course they don't embody the spirit of the Statue of Liberty. And and I won't read directly the article, but, the fact is, the world sees us. America's ideals have been destroyed by Trump. The low-level French politician, nothing's lower than a lick spittle of a con man, Caroline. Nothing is lower than a goddamn complicit, sycophantic lick spittle who has zero understanding of America. I mean, I would like somebody to whisper in her ear, what do you think about a country where their leaders or their founders pledge their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor to each other? What do you think about that? I would think she would repel and recoil from that, because doesn't that sound positively woke? It's almost like socialism. Pledge your life, fortune, and sacred honor. Your fortune? I mean, fuck honor. They don't have any. But they ain't giving $1 to nobody. $1, $20. That's the only thing that matters in life, right? Give me $1. You don't pledge that to somebody. You pledge it to yourself or your dear leader. Fucking bastards. How about e pluribus unum? This is what I wonder about maggots. Out of many, one. What the fuck? That's like DEI. Diversity, equity, inclusion. What's the other one? We always forget the last DEI. What's the third letter of that? What's the third? I mean, the fourth. Diversity, equity. Who is fucking texting me? Diversity, equity, inclusion, and what? Isn't there something else? Because I was listening to someone. Diversity, not the third. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and I don't know. I'm losing it. I was listening to I'm trying to remember. Oh, Sam Cedar. That's what happened. And he was saying that we always forget the fourth letter there. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and what's the other one? Accessibility? Is it? DEIA, right. Accessibility, right. Why do we neglect the last letter there? Because I don't know, DEI and accessibility. I mean, who could be against any of those things but a Republican? Who's against diversity? Well, they hate diversity. That's why they hate America, a nation of immigrants, which is, unless you're a Native American, you come from somewhere else. Your family came from somewhere else. Equity. Oh, heaven forbid that we have some kind of leveling effect. Inclusion. Fuck that. And accessibility, well, only to them, right? It's all of these things are fine if you're focused on a maggot. So, anyway, so Caroline Leavitt, who is really supposedly speaking for the American people when she has no business being anywhere near the halls of power. But the name of the French politician is Raphael Glucksmann. He said that if America abandons the principles embodied in the Statue of Liberty, we might as well send her back to France. Officially titled Liberty Enlightening the World, the Statue of Liberty is a gift from the people of France to the United States, symbolizing freedom and democracy. And of course, the poem that is inscribed on the base of the statue's pedestal is Emma Lazarus's poem, The New Colossus, which, of course, Republicans always have a problem with this. I'm sure you remember the Nazi Jew Stephen Miller having an argument with Jim Acosta, who was asking about the mass deportation. This is in the first maladministration, and how Stephen Miller was trying to school Jim Acosta about how it's not a law, it's just a fucking poem, basically. even though it has come to symbolize, the statue and the poem have come to embody what we once thought were American values. Now they're just too damn woke. So, but the statue, the poem, The New Colossus, was part of a fundraising drive when the statue was first gifted to the United States, as it was part of a drive to raise funds for the pedestal. And it wasn't put on the statue when it was first unveiled, but it was put there 20 years later. And even though it was intrinsically linked with the statue, so over time, the poem and the statue have come to symbolize American ideals that Trump and his greed-centered cult of destroyers attack as a matter of course. So the poem goes, it really is about, it's evocative of the Colossus, the Greek Colossus, but I'll read the second half. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, she cries with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. I mean, I almost break down in tears when I read that, because of how far we've fallen. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. God. Yeah. Of course, this is a message of inclusivity for those who seek refuge. Now, if you seek refuge, you'll find it in abundance now. But refuge, not so much. For any true patriot, reading that poem is really a heartbreaking reminder of how far we've fallen. So we should give it back. And for that dumb bitch who's only in that position because she's a lickspittle and blonde and she pleases, her master, because by the way that she kisses his ass and is eager to lie for him. I mean, do these people, that's the other thing I wonder a lot, do they actually believe their lies? Right? Because they're so full of shit. They know this Caroline Leavitt. She knows that Trump and the maggots are the antithesis of the Statue of Liberty. Right? She knows that the Trump and the maggots are the very antithesis of everything that the Statue of Liberty purports to represent, to stand for. And the fact that, for these little for children, like, these emotionally stunted maggots, because they lack the fundamental maturity to function in a free democratic society. That's clear. For them, I mean, I'm old enough to remember freedom fries, right? We remember that time when the maggots, they similarly embarrassed themselves by trying to rename French fries freedom fries because the French wouldn't go along with the illegal invasion of a nation that had nothing to do with the attack on 9/11. Based on lies, right? They knew that Bush was peddling lies, that Colin Powell disgraced himself by lying in front of the UN with his fucking illustrations of nuclear sites. Remember that? They had drawings of it. No actual intelligence, no photographs, nothing real. And Colin Powell, debased himself. And of course, Republicans followed suit with all their fucking stupid pantomimes of patriotism. We're going to call it freedom fries. What a joke these people are. It's like Gulf of America. Red, white, and blue land. Like, shove it up your stupid ass, maggots. Do you see what you have done to us, freedom fries? I wish we were free. You know how you're free? You follow the Constitution. You're a nation of laws. No one is above the law. If this were a functioning society, that baboon would be in prison, not in the halls of power. This fucking baboon, he still won't stop spreading lies about the election that he lost. And now we have this Elon Musk maggot and that's what I was saying earlier in the show. I guess I didn't finish my sentence, but the hope springs eternal for them finally getting what's coming to them. At the end of this timeline, Elon Musk is stripped of his goddamn ill-gotten gains and deported to The Hague, where he stands trial for crimes against humanity. And we have every right to do it. Because he is a maggot. He is a parasite. He thinks, what does he think he is? Tony Stark? No, more like Dr. Evil. These people are, what did he say? I only do good things. Because a lot of people, it's not a lot of people. There's some vandalism occurring against, Elon Musk's fucking exploding cars. Oh God, everything is slow on my computer. Hold on, let me shut that. Maybe that'll help. Hold on, guys.
I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, Democrats were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars. They're
How do you know it's
firebombing dealerships. They're firing bullets into the dealerships. They're just smashing up Teslas.
To me.
Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful.
Never?
I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things.
No.
So,
you've only done productive things, like dance around with a chainsaw like a baboon, glibly cutting people's lifelines, sending people into turmoil and stress, treating them like shit. I've never done anything wrong. I've only done productive things with the $40 billion in government contracts, courtesy of we the people, courtesy of the American taxpayer. No, you've never said thanks either, have you, scumbag? Oh, I love it how every time you turn on Fox News, they're all licking Musk's ass. They're really working overtime to try to rehab his image. And good luck with that. Good luck. Because by the time this is over, Musk will be deported. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb. It's not going to end well for him in this timeline. It's not going to end well for his company. Tesla has got to do something about him if they want to have a functioning company. The only thing that Musk is capable of is turning everything into shit. You see, that's what he's done his whole life. He's taken his trust fund and he invested, he made that bullshit zip2.com online yellow pages, whoopee fucking doopy, meet Google, I don't know. And then he took the money, that he grifted and bought into Tesla. And we know this. I mean, you guys who watch the show know this. I wrote a whole article about it. He's not a genius. And I'm sick of people saying it. There's not a day that goes by that someone on Twitter or on the corporate media doesn't say, well, Musk is a genius. Why doesn't he just stay in his lane of being a genius? He's not a genius, for fuck's sake. That's why he can't do it. No genius is a Nazi, for one thing. He's all over the world funding Nazi causes. No genius is a racist. Okay? That is just science, for Christ's sakes. And he's, the richest parasite on this planet, thanks to the American people who bailed his ass out, too. Numerous times we've saved his ass from destruction. And this time, no more. If anybody's lifeline is going to get cut, it'll be him. And what I couldn't believe, even though every day, of course, we hit bottom and the trap door opens, we go flying into hell further, that I couldn't believe that I saw Elon Musk is getting a Pentagon briefing. He doesn't have a top secret clearance, this piece of shit. But he certainly has a lot of conflicts of interest, doesn't he? He has a lot of business with the Chinese, the communist Chinese that the Republicans pretend to care so much about. He's got Putin up his ass. He's licking Putin's balls. He's in bed with the Chinese. All the autocrats of the world. Fuck this guy. How dare he? I mean, how is this happening? That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's a danger to humanity. And the other thing, that's why I'm just sick of Democrats, too. I mean, I don't mean to turn it on the Democrats, but come on. There were so many opportunities. Biden should have fucking gotten rid of all of his government contracts when he had the chance. Jesus Christ. But no, we got to play nice. Can't be... when they go low, we go high. How's that working? I wish he had never said that. Fucking weak. Hold on, this is Tara Devlin. Become a patron right now. Do it now. All right. I've only done productive things. That's how you know he's not a genius. He's just so full of shit. I've only done productive things? How come this won't play? Come on.
Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful.
Never? Never, except for the massive 8-car pileup on Thanksgiving Day that sent people to the hospital. I don't think anybody died in that one, but others have died. All the fucking explosions. How many times has that ugly Cybertruck been recalled? What's it been, 18 times in a matter of a year and a half? Some asshole around here has one. Every time I see one of these cars, I'm sure it's the same guy. I see him parking on the street. It's ridiculous. It's the ugliest car that's ever been in real life. I've seen that shit in a 50s science fiction movie, but when he rolled that thing out during whenever they unveiled it, that the crowd thought it was a joke. They thought he was pulling their leg. And yes, Twisted Nerves painting. Yes, you need to resign and go away. I can't wait for that day. That's what's keeping me going. That's the wind beneath my wings. Thinking of the day when he gets what's coming to him. And it's not another government contract. And Trump, of course, too. Trump finally giving us what we deserve, the largest outdoor gender-neutral bathroom on Earth, if you know what I mean. That great getting up morning. That great getting up morning.
I've never done anything awful. I've only done productive things.
Really?
So I think we just have...
I've only done productive things. Really? Not really, except, you're full of shit. You've only done productive things like cut thousands America, send Americans to their unemployment lines. Destroy our national parks, our national treasures. That's what you've done. You've done only productive things. And then dance around like a fucking baboon about it. With a chainsaw. I don't know why. The left. How do you know it's the left? I'm not saying people should do that. Because what it does when you vandalize, when you act like a maggot, you play into their hands. So there's other ways to go about things. So whenever and that's why it makes me wonder whether it's, proud pricks or something doing things like that. Because that's what they do. That's why Republicans are always talking about false flags. Like Umbrella Guy. Oh, let me see. Umbrella Man during Black Lives Matter. And it ended up, a lot of the incidences of violence ended up being right-wing provocateurs trying to sully the name, of the Black Lives Matter movement, trying to turn the American people against Black Lives Matter. So that's what they do, because you don't hear left-wingers talking about false flags. We don't think like that, but they do, because that's what they engage in. They have very devious minds. When was the last time a left-winger was going on, let's do a false flag? See, they only project. They project what they would do. Right? Yeah, so the Umbrella Man was identified as a 32-year-old, associated with the Aryan Cowboys, a white supremacist group in Minnesota and Kentucky. Yeah, he was really there to advance the cause of Black Lives Matter, don't you think? So we found out about, those are the ones we found out about. Let's see, I'm looking up others. Black Lives Matter. Lest we forget, you know what I mean? What we're dealing with. His actions were seen as a catalyst for the escalation of violence and looting in Minneapolis, and the incident highlighted concerns about outside provocateurs disrupting peaceful protests. Of course. Not only Umbrella Man, then there were social media. Right-wingers were spreading numerous false claims, such as staged protests, planted bricks. Remember that? They planted bricks, and then they posted, look, all the Black Lives Matter people are getting ready for war. They're arming themselves with bricks. Of course, it's completely fabricated by right-wingers. Far-right groups, including white nationalists and militias, participated in the demonstrations, engaging in violence against BLM protesters, including groups like the Boogaloo Boys, remember? Who was the one who shot into a police station saying, "Justice for George Floyd"? So anyway, all right, getting back to I keep saying Allina Habba, but they're all one big giant waste of human DNA. Caroline Leavitt, she, the point is, she doesn't understand. I'm sure she crosses Lafayette Square. Lafayette Square is right around the White House. She crosses Lafayette Square, I'm sure, all the time, and without even questioning at all, who is this square named for? And not knowing that Lafayette Square is named for a French nobleman and officer who was instrumental in garnering support from the French for the American Revolution. He was known now as the hero of two worlds. And, for all of... what really annoys me about the Republicans, besides everything else, is their stunning ignorance and their cherry picking of facts. And they talk about loyalty, of course, but you would think that if our oldest ally, and the French, that's who the French are. The French are America. They've been standing shoulder to shoulder with Americans since the inception of the country. And you would think if the French are questioning that whether we are living up to the ideals that once were shared by both civilizations, by both societies, it might be a moment of reflection, not another opportunity to act like a childish douche. But what else can you do, right? When, as my father always said, we can only expect grunts from pigs. What else can Caroline Leavitt do? The arrogance of, their response is so beneath the dignity of the United States, I would think. And the other thing we have to remember, too, is they don't have a mandate to do any of this. They don't have a mandate. They won the election in a squeaker in the slimmest margin in over 100 years, or whatever it is, in generations. And still, we keep hearing how, they got a mandate and it's a historic mandate. It's only historic in how the fact that they don't have a mandate. And so they don't have a mandate to undo the Department of Education, to go after Social Security, to do anything of what they're doing, to fire government workers. And one of the things I have to say is when you think about waste, fraud, and abuse, and what is people want government to function. They don't want when you call up Social Security to not get somebody on the phone. And what's so tragic is here's another thing. For example, one of the videos that Hernan does for me, he takes the long the show and he makes some clips and posts them on the channel here on Tarabuster. And one of the videos he did was about that veteran who chained himself outside the White House. And somebody posted a comment which really annoyed the fuck out of me on the veteran's video. Hold on a second, and I will tell you what that comment is when we return right after this short break. This is Tara Devlin. Become a patron. All right, so someone posted the VA. So, the title of the video is Veteran Chains Himself Outside the White House to Protest Trump and Musk. And this person posted, the VA has always been trash. Nothing new. We are acting like something great is being ruined. And then he does one of these, emojis that are like, I'm exhausted, right? And it just really fucking pissed me off because that is so not true. And I don't know who this person is. I looked at their account. They doesn't seem to be, I don't know, a maggot, just some dude. And the fact is, that's not true. The VA is not trash. And as somebody who actually served and had opportunities to go into get health care from the VA when I was active, it's not trash. It's great. You go, you give your card, you fucking take your medicine, whatever it might be, and you call it a day. Not a bill, not a copay, co-insurance. But the thing is, people have frustration getting into the VA. So when you're outside, when you're not serving anymore, let's say, or and you're trying to get into the VA, or trying to get a whatever it might be, an appointment, or get into a mental health care. It's what the studies show is that it's frustrating, that it's hard to get an appointment in certain facilities and whatnot. And that is simply because the VA is underfunded by these fucking baboons that do everything in their power not to make government run efficiently, but to destroy it. Okay? But when the veterans actually overcome the Republican hurdles of underfunding and are in the system receiving care, the VA ranks higher than every other healthcare system in the United States. Okay? That is just a fact. The Veterans Administration, here's a quote. The Veterans Administration healthcare system has consistently ranked and received high satisfaction ratings from its users. According to recent surveys, Veterans Trust in VA outpatient care has risen to 91.8%, up from 85.6% in 2018. Additionally, VA hospitals have outperformed non-VA hospitals in patient satisfaction and quality reviews. 79% of VA facilities receiving a summary star rating of 4 or 5 stars out of 5 stars, compared to 40% of non-VA hospitals. Historically, VA's customer satisfaction ratings have been favorable, with high marks for customer service and quality. These results indicate a strong level of satisfaction among veterans for using VA services. That's our socialized medicine system. Okay? So for this fucking baboon, I know they're all baboons. They are. They're flying monkeys and baboons. But for him, this person, where's he? I don't know who this person is, where he's getting his fucking information from. The VA has always been trash. Where the fuck have you been? It's not trash. They're just, either he's a maggot or a Russian bot, who the hell knows, or simply repeating the bullshit that they drum into his empty head again and again and again on the right-wing propaganda channels or right-wing influencer channels, literally funded by the Kremlin. I mean, what the fuck? To think about that, you know, because what we're talking about are our fellow Americans. The VA has always been trash. It's how? Because people who are working in hospitals, you know, nobody wants to not have an effective, you know, experience with the people that they serve. You know, they act like the American people just summarily suck. That nobody gives a shit about each other. Everything sucks. You know what? It sucks because Republicans make it suck. If we funded the things that matter in this country, rather than give it to Elon, the parasite Musk, to what? What is he doing with all our billions? The disgusting parasite. What's he doing? Besides wasting it, cutting our lifelines, cutting the American people into what? Into easily digestible chunks? Is that it? But we can have that shining city on a hill if we got these maggots out of the way, that's for sure. We can have a country that works, a system that works, a civilization that works for more than just Elon Musk. If we got these maggots out of the way, that's for sure. And maybe by the end of this disgusting maladministration, this awful timeline that we're on, maybe by the end of it, the American people will finally wake up and see the light. That, you know, government is not the problem. It's people who hate government. That's the problem. It's because here's the thing. Let me rephrase that. Republicans don't, when they say that that government is the problem, what they're talking about is democracy. They don't have a problem with government at all, as you see. What they like is oligarchy. They like authoritarianism. They like lawlessness. They want a government that does nothing for the American people, nothing for the people. No services, no connection, no general welfare. No, we're e pluribus unum, we're in this together. They want the American people nice and malleable and suffering and living paycheck to paycheck on the balls of their ass, hanging by a thread, nice and malleable and easily exploitable, where you don't get up and pester your betters for a decent life, where you say, no, we demand a seat at the table. That's what they don't want. They want you to be crushed under the boot of them. You're nothing but a parasite from which to suck profit. You want to know what kind of government they like? They like a government that looks just like the government the founders overthrew. They are enemies of the American experiment. They hate America. I mean, look at everything from the way that they just basically spit in the face of George Washington, the way they treat people who are detained in this country, the way they strip them of rights in direct contradiction of the orders of the founder of this, the father of the nation, right? How dare they? Think about that. Think about how repugnant they are to take the expressed, and just like they take the expressed and explicit orders of the Savior they pretend to worship, and spit in the face and of anyone, of any actual patriot, of the American people. How dare these people just degrade our country as they've done? How dare they in 60 days just expend and exhaust the entire goodwill of the world, everything that this country once stood for. They have completely denigrated. They have destroyed. How dare they? Think about how disgusting they are. I was writing another article for the Political Voices channel and thinking, and part of it was I was thinking of posting it probably tomorrow. It's about AOC and Allina Habba. What time is it? Oh, we're almost done with the Progressive Voices part of the show, but come on over to youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster to watch the rest of the show. What the fuck is going on here? Where's the music? What is happening? What is happening? That is so weird. Oh, here it is. Okay. I thought that I was looking at the timeline. I thought that the music wasn't playing. But here it is. So, all right, guys. If you're on the Progressive Voices, come on over to youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster for the rest of the show. It's going to be great. Check out the Tara Show on Tuesdays and Thursdays with myself and my friend Tara Dublin. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Political Voices Network. Remember, we will win. Become a patron, patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Check out Charlie's APS Radio News. Say hello to Charlie. And what else? Oh, yeah, become a subscriber of Political Voices. Why not? You better. You better. We got to do this together. See you soon. All right. You better. You better. Okay. Where was I? So, yeah. Think about that. I mean, maybe. I'm sorry to keep telling you to think about things. Maybe you've thought about them before. But it just hit me again. When you talk about how Republicans, the only holy obligation of the Jesus they pretend to worship is gay bashing and trans bashing, right? But to think that, they're always talking about, patriotism, but yet they spit right in the fucking face of George Washington, right? That you think they'd like him because he's a slave owner, but he's also had some pretty progressive ideals for his time, and it really does break my heart when I think about who the fuck they are, and what they have done to this country. And here's another thing. All right, so as far as Allina Habba, what's her face? Caroline Leavitt. It's a joke. It's a joke. Every day, another opportunity for Republicans to embarrass themselves and us by extension. And, they shame themselves. So I just thought that Caroline Leavitt's response to the French is, it's not only typical, but it pretty much says that maybe we should send the statue back. Don't we have any decency? Imagine the French gave the Statue of Liberty or something similar to Germany, and then they fell to Nazism. Don't you think it would stand in stark contrast to the spirit, right, of what the gift was supposed to represent? But I just wanted to finish up with oh shit, hold on a second. So the French, after Allina Habba, not Allina Habba, I'm sorry, I'm annoying. Fucking Leavitt, that blonde. After Leavitt's response to the French politician, he wrote her back, and I just wanted to read this. In a series of tweets, he wrote, "Dear Americans, since the White House press secretary is attacking me today, I wanted to tell you this." Okay, I'll post it up here. Our two people are intimately linked by history. Not that Allina Habba knows that, by the way. Of course she doesn't, because she's a fucking baboon. And she's the mouthpiece. That's even worse. The mouthpiece of a baboon. It's so, ugh. She should be embarrassed, but if she were, she wouldn't be a Trumpanzee. But anyway, our two people are intimately linked by history, the blood we shed and the passion for freedom we share. A passion symbolized by this statue that was offered to the United States by France to honor your glorious revolution. As the press secretary for this shameful administration said, without your nation, France would have spoken German. In my case, it goes further. I would simply not be here if hundreds of thousands of young Americans had not landed on our beaches in Normandy. And every day, Republicans denigrate and disparage the sacrifice of everyone who ever fought, bled, and died fighting one of Trump and Musk's heroes. Let's remember that. So our gratitude to these heroes and their sacrifices is therefore eternal. But the America of these heroes fought against tyrants. It did not flatter them. It was the enemy of fascism, not the friend of Putin. It helped the resistance, and it didn't attack Zelensky. Right? It celebrated science and didn't fire researchers for using banned words. It welcomed the persecuted and didn't target them. It was far, so far from what your current president does, says, and embodies. This America, faithful to the wonderful words inscribed on the Statue of Liberty, your America is worth so much more than the betrayal of Ukraine and Europe, xenophobia, or obscurantism. Did I say that right? Obscurantism? Obscurantism. I know, words are hard sometimes. We all in Europe love this nation to which we know we owe so much. It will rise again. You will rise again. We are counting on you. And it is precisely because I am petrified by Trump's betrayal that I said yesterday in a rally that we should symbolically take back the Statue of Liberty. If your government despised everything it symbolizes in your eyes, ours, and those of the world, it was a wake-up call. No one, of course, will come to steal the Statue of Liberty. The statue is yours, but what it embodies belongs to everyone. And if the free world no longer interests your government, then we will take up the torch here in Europe. Doesn't that make you want to cry? I mean, that's me talking. Until we meet again in the fight for freedom and dignity, we will be the continuators of our shared history and the protectors of our treasure. More than a statue of copper and steel, the freedom it symbolizes. I mean, tell me, what did he say that is incorrect? Right? We should symbolically take back the Statue of Liberty if your government despises everything it symbolizes. Yes, it does. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. These freaks wouldn't know decency, freedom, liberty, wouldn't know what it means to be American, or what it should mean, what it's supposed to mean, because everything that America's supposed to be, they despise. They rail against, they hate, they go up. I mean, one of the first things they did in the first maladministration was in the Department of Immigration and Naturalization. They took out in the mission statement, the top line said the United States is a nation of immigrants. They took that out because they fucking hate America. Of course they did. They hate everything that America is about. That's why they go after the national parks. They go after science. They go after reason. They go after unity, dignity, any attempt to make a more perfect union. DEI. Diversity, anything, they're going after, what makes me sick, yet another, every time we turn around, another thing is bowing to this baboon. Columbia University is the latest. Every time we turn around. How do you think they're going to age in history's light? Yeah, Columbia, what did Columbia do? They said that they wouldn't teach diversity or something, right? Scums. Yeah, under threat from Trump, Columbia University agrees to policy changes. Yeah, they're going to limit free speech. Because you can only speak, you're free to speak in the strict constraints that the baboon and his fascist flying monkeys lay out for you. Yeah, as part of sweeping reforms, the university will also adopt a new definition of anti-Semitism, meaning anything that upsets Netanyahu if you speak out against Netanyahu, you are now an anti-Semite. Right? Unreal. Disgusting. So the New York Civil Liberties Union said that Columbia's capitulation endangers academic freedom and campus expression nationwide. Of course it does. Of course it does. Does that sound like freedom? If you're not allowed to speak? If you're not allowed to hold a different view than the administration? Does that sound like freedom? See, I remember, I'm old enough to remember when Americans used to say, I might not agree with what you say, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it. Remember that? How quaint, right? You would think that if, Netanyahu is so correct, that he would withstand scrutiny. His actions could withstand it if he's so correct. Same thing with Baboon. With Chief Baboon. Well, anyway, another article that I didn't get a chance to post yet. I might post after the show or tomorrow morning, depending. Probably tomorrow, even though it'll be a little late then, is about how Republicans hate not just America. Well, they hate working people. And one of the things that really annoys me, besides everything else, is, I don't know if you know, but during the last election, the maggots made some inroads into the working class as far as voters. More voters who were considered working class. Not more voters, not like it was a landslide of them, but they voted for the Baboon. And of course the corporate media went, they kept saying like, how have the Democrats lost the working class? Now look, the Republicans have gained working class support. And I remember Jim Jordan on Fox News saying how the Republicans are now the party of the working class. And the corporate media kept reporting it, but the fact is that it's not that the Republicans are the party of the working class. They're not. They're the party of working class racists, yeah, and they have propaganda channels that a lot of these working class racists are addicted to. They're addicted to the angertainment and the lies, and because the Republicans hate working people. It's in everything they do. And that's why, you got to ask yourself, how much do you have to hate yourself if you work for a living and vote Republican? But it's kind of like, it's like a mental illness. It's like it's Stockholm syndrome coupled with the self-loathing that a lot of Republicans are suffering with, really. Because you really got to hate yourself to be anyone who works for a living and votes Republican. Because what do you get for it? That's why it's always so fascinating, and why the Democrats have to stop being nice to Republicans and start, giving them a clue about who actually keeps their poorly run states afloat. Like even when Chuck Schumer was on The View the other day and they were, he was trying to explain himself, why he, capitulated to Republican terrorism. And he was saying that, he said, well, the Republicans really don't like whatever he was saying. And he goes, no, I mean, MAGA Republicans. They always have to rehab the Republican brand. Leave the Republican brand alone, Chuck Schumer. It's not your effing place, to make the American people think that the Republicans are a reasonable alternative. Because that's what they're doing. That's what Schumer does. That's what Nancy Pelosi does. Republicans, take back your party. The American people need a strong Republican Party that's done so much bullshit to America. And, by doing that, of course, what always irritates me in general about Republicans, being about the Democrats and Pelosi doing that, is that it's very passive, isn't it? To say, Republicans, take back your party. It really does let the Democrats off the hook, doesn't it? Once again, Republicans, we're not going to do shit. You take back your party and make it normal again, because clearly we Democrats don't have a fucking fight, an ounce of fight in us. So take back your party and do, make it easy on us to remain what? Right? I mean, no, I'm sorry. The Republicans are not going to take back their party. That ship sailed in Reaganomics when Reagan committed treason to get into the White House. And that's what he did when he negotiated behind the back of the sitting president to, with the Iranians, told them, just keep the hostages a little longer because it's helping my campaign. And if you do that, I will supply you with arms after the fact, even though it'll be illegal and against constitutional and against Congress. But he committed treason. He was not the president. He shouldn't have been conducting foreign policy. But that's what Republicans do. So don't tell me take back your party, Republicans. Since the Republicans sold out to the goddamn Gilded Age, they've never looked back. That's why Teddy Roosevelt had to get the fuck out of there and start his own party. Right? I mean, the Republicans, that's what's so sad, is that the Republican Party was founded as a progressive party. And that's why, the Republicans will hear them today. They got to go back to the 1860s and say, well, the Republicans freed the slaves or freed enslaved people, as if, they're so progressive today. But there was, at a time, something called a progressive Republican, and that went the way of the Whigs, with Teddy Roosevelt, when he threw up his hands and said, that's it, I'm out of here. I'll create my own party. The Republican Party is corrupt. And it is an appendage of the affairs of billionaires. Well, at the time, the robber barons. So, anyway, Republicans hate the working class. And it's in everything they do. And I've played so many videos. We played a video, remember, of Lauren Boebert attacking remote work. And in her whole diatribe, as if, Lauren Boebert's a fucking, dropout, a high school dropout, who couldn't be bothered to follow food standards and gave, in her shitty restaurant, she spread salmonella. And that's not me talking, that's actually what happened. Because regulations, well, those pesky regulations. But she was, attacking remote work because she's like, you got the numbers? You got, because how workers are just shit here in America. We're all just shitty people. And if given half a chance, we'd all lounge around in the social safety net hammock and take advantage and suck on the government teat. They have to, the Republicans really hate American working people. That's why they think like, oh, you got to kick them when they're down and cut their lifelines. Otherwise, why would they Why would you even bother to get out of bed in the morning? Even though, the American worker productivity has increased exponentially while corporate profits are through the roof. Yet, of course, CEO pay is like 400 something times the lowest paid worker. And of course, wages have not even come near productivity. And in fact, if it has, the minimum wage would be over $30 an hour if the minimum wage kept up with productivity. And that's what it should be. So even when we're asking for $15 minimum wage, as if, that's the impossible dream, it should be even double that. We're always lowballing ourselves because we've been beaten into submission. You ask, fuck that $15 an hour. It should be $50 an hour. You mother effers. Not you guys. I'm talking to the Republicans, But why not? And don't people understand that you could still be rich? Elon Musk, he'll get by on $1 billion. He'll be able to live. Trust me. But think about it. Anyway, so Allina Habba, that son of a bitch, that very underwhelming. You know how she got her job? She joined Trump's golf club, Bedminster. Was it Bedminster or maybe Maramoron? I can't remember. That's how she got her job. She joined the club, and then she started to praise the dear leader to the hilt. And then Trump, because she's a good-looking girl, a good-looking piece of ass. They said, who's that? Oh, she's a very great lawyer, and that's how she got her job. But here's Allina Habba on Sean Hannity's show, and you'll see. They get it. The mask slips. Hold on. Come on, Come on. I can't. Where is my eCam? Come on, eCam. Don't fail me now, eCam.
I mean, Jasmine Crockett and AOC and the squad seem to be leading the intellectual thought of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they're stupid, you see,
what
right?
What intellectual thought, Sean? The last I saw, they're dancing down the halls of Congress. I've never seen anything like this. I'm watching TikToks of crazy things. They're singing, they're dancing, they're
dancing.
They're holding beers.
Well,
beers?
I never saw anything like this.
Do they have a chainsaw? Not even a chainsaw?
I was doing, quote, the intellectual side of the party. And I love when AOC lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's the only
Calm down
thing
and
she
not
and
to
I
have
have
a
in
drink,
common.
to serve one.
Wow.
Exactly. All right, Allina Habba, thank you.
Can you believe that? You were in a bar. See, she can't help herself. Oh, exactly. Do you hear how demeaning they are?
Inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's the
Calm
only
down
thing
and
she
not
and
to
I
have
have
a
in
drink,
common.
to serve one.
Exactly. All right, Allina Habba, thank you.
Ha 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 ha. Not to have a drink to serve. You were in a bar. Not to be waited on, but to be somebody doing the work of waiting on people. Ha 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 ha. You see? There it is. They hate working people. You are a dumbass. And how much do you have to hate yourself to vote Republican? You stupid morons. All of the ones, they prove me right all the time. All of the ones who, they go to their their Nuremberg rallies and whatnot, these idiots, why? They hate you. Trump and the Republicans hate you more than liberals can ever hate you, because we don't hate you. We're not trying to hurt you, unlike Republicans who are trying to hurt us and everybody. You know, they're fine. Like all the people getting fired in Musk's disgusting fake Department of Government Efficiency, that is nothing but a parasite's dream come true. They have no problem hurting anybody else. They're only getting a clue because it's coming for them. And as we notice, and I've played other clips, the people who are being fired, they all have to justify it too. They're like, well, I, of course, believe that, government is just too big and there needs to be cuts and there's a lot of, we got to cut down on the waste, fraud, and abuse, but not me. I got a good review. I'm not doing something that's waste and fraud and abuse. I'm a good one. Fire somebody else. Fire someone with darker pigment. Fire a trans person. Fire somebody gay. Somebody not me. And they're just so selfish. They can't see the forest. They can't see, past their own goddamn reflection. And I've been telling them for years that Republicans hate them by everything that they do. It's not me talking. Listen to them. That's exactly what she said. Ha ha ha. You're not there to drink. You're there to serve the drinks, you dumb bitch. You stupid bitch. You low life. That's what she's saying. I would be in a bar ordering somebody to give me a drink, and then I'd spit on them because they don't deserve me they shouldn't even look at me. I'm Allina Habba. I'm rich. A couple of millionaires kicking down on people who spend the time in their life, trade that time in their life for a paycheck. They're beneath the contempt of these two. And Hannity is a moron. We know this. His nickname on the inside is the stupidest man in media. So, and I love what this is what the Republicans do all the time. They go after AOC. They did it to Harris. They're doing it to Jasmine Crockett. Any female. They're like, they're not smart. They're dumb. They're stupid. Well, give me something that they say that's stupid. Of course, they never have anything like what Trump, it's just what they do. They just throw shit out there like nobody's ever seen. You look at this, you look at that, like no one's seen. It's dumb, it's stupid. They never have any specifics, of course. But yeah, what is she talking about? Of course, AOC is not a dumbass. That you have her confused with Lauren Boebert, who didn't pass her GED until the fucking fourth time, who dropped out of high school, who doesn't know how to contain herself in public. But she can't help but scream, "Don't you know who I am?" Everywhere she goes. She causes a scene. Her family's having meltdowns. Her kids are running around robbing her constituents. Robbing people, robbing their cars. Go home and handle your business, bitch. But, oh yeah, they're dumb. AOC's dumb. Could you imagine if AOC was in a theater, a family theater, watching a family play, Beetlejuice, I mean, it's not like they were going to see some burlesque show. And Boebert can't help but give her date a hand job in front of the theater, vape in front of everybody, act like a fucking fool. She knows she's a goddamn representative, supposedly, and she doesn't know how to behave. That's her trying to behave, right? Don't you know how to act, asshole? No, they don't, because it's their world. We all live in it. And then she said that, she was picked on first. She lied about it. Remember, went through the whole stages of Republican, denial. It didn't happen. She's being picked on. Left-wing media, lies. And then everything was a lie. When we got the video, bitch. Another time she got drunk. Remember that? She got drunk at some event. And it was reported that she was slurring her words. She had too much to drink. And then she put out a statement saying that she was overserved. Because she's just a babe in arms, It's not like she's a grown-ass woman, representative of the United Effing States. If somebody puts a drink in front of her, puts an alcoholic beverage in front of her, she just keeps I was overserved. What do they pour it down your throat, lady? That's the party of personal responsibility. Now imagine how Republicans would behave if AOC was at a theater. Of course, she would never behave like that because she knows how to behave. And if she was at a theater, giving her fiance a hand job. And of course, this was Lauren Boebert said that was she was on a first date, by the way. Even though we know that's not true. She only had to say first date because she's saving face because she wasn't yet divorced until then. But according to everybody, she'd been seeing that guy for a while. She wasn't quite divorced, though. I mean, these Republicans are fucking vile. And so that's why, the Republicans, the corporate media will never go deeper than scratching the surface. They'll just say, oh, the Republicans made inroads into the working class. So what does that mean for Democrats, right? And what does it mean? It means it's like the first time when Trader Trump was elected despite receiving fewer votes. And they were like, wow, the white working class is really economically stressed, right? They have economic insecurity. But when the studies, when they actually went out and did a little digging, it ended up, no, it's racism. Not really the economic insecurity. It was really the racism that attracted them. But you don't hear that on corporate media, right? But for Allina Habba to attack AOC for her history as a bartender, as if the very act of working to sustain oneself is something to be ashamed of. And that's what she's saying. That's what Habba is saying. Of course she is, because they hate working people. And I wish I was wrong. Everything that they do. That's why, what is wrong with you, Republicans? Voting for these people. Anybody who works for a living, are you getting a clue yet? Right? Everything. They all want to have a beer with Elon Musk. They all praise this guy. I mean, if you go on Twitter, it's really pathetic. I went on there and let me see. There's some, I don't know if these are bots. They probably are. I mean, Twitter is just filled to the brim with bots. Russian bots, all kinds of bullshit. And there's so many fake Elon Musk accounts. I can't even find the real one. Who cares? Whatever. But I was on there and somebody wrote, Elon Musk, another one, he's the greatest innovator and the best, blah, blah, blah. Not quite. And does anybody read my Substack? I did a whole thing about it. No, Elon Musk is not a genius, but it's not just me knowing that. All you got to do is a very cursory Google search, and you'll find it. You'll find everything you need. But, the only thing that Republicans have in way of, and this is what the corporate media will show. They'll say, oh, they won't, because they will never dare say the truth that, it's not that Trump has working class support. He's got working class racist support, right? Well, hold on. We'll finish the story after the music. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Become a patron right now, damn it, at Patreon. I'm sorry for yelling in your ear. That annoyed myself. Thank you for... just go over there. Be a patron. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. You can do a one-off PayPal. I don't know. Help the goddamn show. Help a bitch out, Help a liberal podcaster out. Check out the Tara Show with myself and Tara Dublin. Tuesday and Thursday, you can remember, right? TNT. That's what we should have named the show. TNT. Dynamite. Maybe we'll do a rebrand. TNT with Dynamite. Yeah, that's at the Political Voices Network, Tuesday and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Okay, back to this. So the only thing that Republicans have, really, the way they signal their support of the working class is when they dress Trump up in a hard hat or put him behind the seat of a truck and he goes, toot, toot, and he goes, right? And he acts like a fucking toddler. Look at me. Me. Oh my God. It's so irritating. I mean, how much do you have to hate yourself, Republicans, to be that stupid? To fall for the grift? Just put somebody in a Village People costume. And that's all you need? You have no self-respect? Put him in a hard hat and give him a hammer. Me. Put him in a McDonald's apron. See? Look at everybody. Oh, they really are that stupid, actually. Now that I'm thinking about that. Remember, I saw, during the campaign when Trump put his fat ass in that fucking apron and went to McDonald's and pretended to serve people. Even though he probably ate all the fries. He ate all the freedom fries. And everyone that drove through the drive-thru were all his staff. And people were like, I went on Twitter, because I wanted to aggravate myself, I suppose. And they were like, he's the best, isn't he? Look at him. This makes me love him even more. He's really a man of the people. And then they had someone else at the time posted a clip of Trump, I guess during his apprentice days, where he went around in one of his roach motels and followed the staff that were cleaning the rooms. And he was like helping them make the bed. And then he was walking somebody's dog. And the fucking maggots were like, I love him. Look at him. He's the richest billionaire ever, and he's just still one of the people. And I'm like, listen, you think he'd be doing that if there weren't a camera there? I mean, this is a complete photo op. He's doing it for a purpose, and it's not because he really wants to make beds or change the sheets in one of his fucking bed bug infested roach motels. But yeah, oh my God. Does it I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Right? What is wrong with them? You don't have to be a genius to see through the grift, do you? Are people that dumb? And Josie Justice on the chat, how's Robyn/Roxanne and when is she coming back? Well, she's doing great. And she looks great. I don't know when she's coming back, though. I know that she's traveling back this coming week. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. Not vocally. We've texted. That's it. But I don't know about how her, stitches and all that, what the whole situation there is. Either if she's going to be able to do a show coming Wednesday or this week for her own show, or the following week. I would imagine it might be the following week, but I'll find out. I'll find it out. Let me see. Maybe I'll text her right now. Hold on and see if she responds right now. Let me see. Hi, Robyn. What's going on? I'm on my show, and people in the chat are asking how you're doing. When are you coming home, and when are you getting back on the air? ? Okay. There we go. We'll see if she responds. All right. In the meantime, speaking of a response, how you doing? What? I just saw an ad on Tara's show that has been airing on TV too. It's a 1984 style. I don't know what you mean. Let me see. Here's what AOC said in response to Allina Habba's insult against everyone who isn't born with a trust fund.
For all the big talk that Republicans and the Trump administration like to flap about working people, if you actually listen carefully, every once in a while they let the mask slip about what they actually think about us. Just last week, President Trump's lawyer, her name is Allina Habba, she went on television, and when she actually had to be faced with explaining her job, and when she actually had to be faced with doing her job, this is what she had to say. Quote, what intellectual thought? When she was asked about me, quote, what intellectual thought? You were in a bar. You were in a bar, AOC, and not to have a drink, but to serve one. And I want you all to understand, I don't care what the song says about me, but I want you to understand that she isn't just talking about me here. She's talking about you. She's talking about all of us. Because the entire job of the president's lawyer is to speak for him. Trump hired her to speak for him. So imagine what it means for our country that the president's own lawyer cannot even conceive of a working class person being intelligent simply because of the job that they have. This woman could not even recognize the American dream if it was fed to her on a silver spoon. But understand that this kind of disdain for working people by the most powerful people in this country doesn't just come from not being raised right. It's a shorthand for Elon Musk and Donald Trump's entire political agenda and a certain ugly kind of politics, lying to and screwing over working people so that they can steal from our health care and Social Security and veterans care to pay for tax cuts for the wealthiest and bailouts for their crypto billionaire friends. There's a word for this: corruption.
Yeah. Amen. A freaking man. Well, all that maggots expect, that's all they care is if does their dear leader put on a hard hat? Huh? Does he get behind the wheel of a truck and go beep beep, beepity beep? Trump digs coal. Does he pretend to dig something while doing everything he can to roll back workers' rights, attack unions, undermine overtime pay? Remember how everything, he was going to take care of everything on day one. All those executive orders he signed on day one, not a one had anything to do with the price of eggs, the cost of living, expanding any kind of anything that helped people who work for a living. And I mean, just really think about that. I mean, that's why Republicans want us to not pay attention to what they do, just pay attention to what they say. Like when Mike Johnson said, you know, I'm a real Article 1 guy, right? Even though he's nothing but Trump's rubber stamp. I really believe in Article 1. I'm a real Article 1 guy, everybody. Oh, wait, Robyn just got back. What? I've been back on the air. What? Wait. What? Wait, whoa. Hey, whoa. What? I'm saying, when were you back on the air? I'm still healing, and speaking is rather difficult because my mouth is full of stitches. My bruising is slowly resolving. My 2-week follow-up is Monday, after which we head back to West Virginia. Hopefully my broadcast schedule gets back up to what passes for normal come Wednesday. Okay. We shall see. Keep me posted. What happens at the doctor and etc. What? All right, guys, listen. That's going to be the end of our show for now. And there's Boudica. Isn't she good? Isn't she? Watch. Hi, Booty. She's such a good girl. All right. Listen, guys. Thank you for hanging. Look how cute. That thing is up there. I love her. All right, guys. I love you. Look at Boudica. She is so cute. I'm going to have to... Where's my camera? She is a Dory ball. She's like a regular Dory ball. Booty. Look at Mama. Wait, I'm trying to open my camera so I can move it up a little. Here we go. Buddha, look over here. Booty. You're a good girl. All right. That's enough of that, right? All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. I got to say it. I will say it forever and ever and ever. Until everyone on earth is a patron. All right, my friends, I love you. We will win. So my next show will be Tuesday on the Political Voices Network with Tara Dublin for the Tara Show. In the meantime, check out the Political Voices Substack. I'm trying, right? Maybe one day I'll be somebody. Who knows? Thank you all for hanging out. If you can, become a patron, $2 a month or something, you know? It shouldn't be... It's not that hard, right? I don't know. Whatever. $2? $10 a month is like it's like $2 a week for coffee. Buy me a coffee. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for hanging out. I'm sorry for keeping on begging, but I gotta. because we don't have big billionaire benefactors. We only have each other. Thank you, Josie Justice, for your super chat. Here's to hope. That's right. And thank you, JD, for your super chat and the suggestion of the book Gene Sharp, How to Start a Revolution. I'm going to get that on Audible right now and listen to it over the weekend. All right, my loves, I love you. Yes, subscribe to Political Voices. Thank you, Jim, for posting it. Thank you, Jim, for being a moderator. Thank you, Redfoot, for being a moderator, and for always, all of you guys, being by my side. I love you. I do. I can't do it without you. Here's Francis. Get up here, Francis. Get up here. Oh, he's gone away. All right. I love you. We will win. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you on Tuesday afternoon.